Hello friends, I hope you're doing swell and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Alexis. I would love it if you stuck around. So today we're doing part 2 of the Let's Make Over the Townies series that I have going on over on my channel. So usually the first part we do a renovation of the townie in Kaz, and our townies in today's video is actually the Pancakes. So we redid Bob and Eliza Pancakes. We gave them a much needed update with all of their outfits, and I'll have that video actually in the cards up above. But today is the house renovation. So I thought that I would do it as a speed build because some of these houses are just so big that it can be a little bit daunting, especially for someone who is newer at building, to kind of do on camera. So I thought that I would just take some time in my spare time and just go in and update the house slowly over a few hours. And I actually love the way it turned out. I think it fits their aesthetic, but it also is very cohesive for the both of the Sims that live in this house. So this house is kind of inspired by New Orleans, I believe this whole world is. So I want to keep some of that raw wood around the areas and some of those pastel colors. Me and my mom love to go to New Orleans, as well as my husband. It's one of our favorite spots since it's kind of close to Memphis. A lot of people have gone there plenty times in their lifetime. So I got a kind of a hint on how I want the house to be set up. I want to keep that pastel outside, but I did want to darken up some of the features of the house. So as you can see, I did darken up the stairs, but I kept the planks on the house a little bit more neutral. Then I also want to darken up some of the railing as well as the windows, adding some open bay windows at the top and then at the bottom some standard ones. But as you can see, as we move into the inside, those windows bring in some really natural pretty lighting. And then I also meant to note as well, I did make this house a bit smaller. I just felt like it was extremely too big for two Sims to have in their house. I did give them some pets, so we'll see that as well when we move inside. But I didn't want the house to be too terribly big where it creates lag. I wanted to be able to have enough clutter in there, and I was willing to sacrifice the size for that. And then I did try to do this house a couple hours before I actually sat down and filmed it. And then I kind of destroyed it. So I went on to the Sims 4 gallery, and then I saw that little Simsy actually re-uploaded an edited version of it. So I just download that one, put it down, and then I just revised it for myself. So it's a little different than the original, but it's like a combination of the original plus little Simsy and then my take on it. So I'm hoping that the terrain paint doesn't like glitch out. I know that a lot of people have been having some issues with terrain paint kind of glitching out. So since I'm kind of paranoid when I film these videos and just film content in general for my gaming channel, I tend to kind of go in and save multiple different times because I don't want to lose any of my work that I've been doing, because I'm trying to take this channel seriously. It's been growing a ton over the last couple of months that I've been actively posting a few times a week, and I have a lot of big things that I want to do for this channel. So whatever I do, I want to do my best with it. So I try to save as much as I can so I won't lose any work or lose any progress, so the video kind of flows as best as it can. But this has to be one of my favorite series that I've been doing on my channel since starting. I watch a lot of different Simmers pretty much every day. I kind of substituted like true crime podcasts for Sims YouTube, and it's honestly been so good for my mental health. During COVID and a little bit beforehand as well, I kind of relearned my love for Sims. I used to play it all while growing up. I had Sims 2 on PlayStation 2, and then I kind of slowly gravitated over to like getting a PC from Walmart, I remember, and I had all of the expansion packs for Sims 2, and I used to play it every day after like basketball and volleyball practice. It was just something that my only child self really enjoyed. So I've been a Sims player for a really long time. So I thought that last year was going to be my first year to actually upload some content, and then I just kind of discouraged myself a little bit. I was like, oh, I want to focus on like my lifestyle channel, and like we got a puppy. It was our first year of marriage, and then my husband was like, no, you need to make Sims video, just carve some time out to do it. So he motivated me quite a bit to actually sit down and film these videos, and I'm so thankful for that because they have been something that I just love to do. I love to sit down and edit them. I love to develop some character gameplay, which, you guys, I have been actually developing like some storylines for the Horse Ranch Let's Play that we're doing on the channel. So if you don't know, I have a playlist of Horse Ranch Rags to Riches on my channel currently, and we are probably like 5 episodes deep, with the 5th one coming out in a few days. But I have been doing some character development, doing some things in the background. I want to create a little bit more drama because usually the sim content I watch is 2 genres. So we have the very vanilla gameplay, and then we have the heavy CC gameplay with like all the extra mods and all this crazy stuff going on. And I love the balance of them too. So I kind of want to still do the vanilla gameplay. I'm not too keen on like downloading CC onto my computer right now because I just don't want it to lag too much. But I have been doing a lot of prep in the background. Me and Kendall actually went to Pittsburgh this past week, and I kind of worked remotely while I was there, while he was on business through like the numismatist. They had a big show there in Pittsburgh, so I just kind of set the show and I did my work. But then also in my downtime, I was like, let me do some like market research, since I'm in marketing communications right now, and I haven't really done much market research. I kind of look for like the popular videos and I kind of put my spin on them when it comes to Sims, but I want to do more like gameplay development wise, because in the 2 wheelhouses that I currently watch, like the vanilla gameplay is like, as you've been seeing right now, we just kind of play as we go. But some of the more crazy, like all the mods and whimsical whims and all the different stuff, like that's some really good story mode gameplay. So I want to kind of combine the 2 for this Horse Ranch Let's Play series. So I've been kind of doing some development in the back, kind of figuring out like how to navigate the screen so it's a little bit more smoother. So we create like a cinematic type of view. So expect that maybe in this week's video. I haven't sat down and filmed it just yet, and I hope it comes out as I intended. But if not this week, it'll probably end up being next week. You can kind of see how the story kind of progresses as I learn a little bit more about doing some character gameplay. But I'm really excited about all the content. I have been wanting to do Sims like YouTube for the longest, and I'm just really proud that I'm actually doing it now. And I thought that I would do something different with this video and do a speed build. I typically don't watch speed builds, but since some of these videos would be a little bit longer and I have to just take my time with the decorating it, it's just a little less stressful for someone who works like a corporate 9 to 5, and then I still got stuff outside of work to do. I can kind of just sit down in my downtime and just build, and I can do it at any part of the day. I don't have to worry about lighting. So I really hope you enjoy it. Definitely let me know in the comments down below if this is something that you like to watch, because I can definitely do some of these, because the next house I believe that we're going to do for Let's Make Over the Townies will be Johnny's Zest. I needed to go back to something that was kind of smaller, because I feel like the last few houses that we've been doing in this series have been just ginormous and very daunting. So before this one, I know it's just a 2-family house, but we did the Spencer Kim Lewis house, and that took me like 3 or 4 videos to actually upload. And I wish I would have done a speed build for that, but you kind of learn as you do this kind of stuff. But the cast was very easy, which I enjoy doing casts. It's not like my favorite because I'm more of like a gameplay girly. I like watching legacies, and I like having those big playlists where you kind of just binge watch. That's the kind of content I love. And then I also love a good build challenges. So that's the kind of 2 things that I'm focusing on right now on the channel. But the Let's Make Over the Townies, like if we have a huge house, we're gonna have to do it in a speed build. I think that's the way to do it to protect my sanity. But the next video of the Let's Make Over the Townies, which will be next week, we're going to be doing a cast makeover of Johnny's Zest, which I am really excited about. And then also redoing his trailer. I haven't done many trailers in like my Sims like game wise. I know there's some really cool like bunkers and things along that nature over in Strangerville. So I'm going to probably keep him in Oasis Springs or wherever we are right now, where his lot is located, because I just think it just fits the lore of the story. But as we kind of progress as well, making over the different worlds and the different townies within those worlds, I'm really excited to create some townies for like Strangerville, because that's just going to be a lot of fun. And also, if you watch like the Horse Ranch Let's Play going on my channel right now, I am actually doing it as like a legacy pack challenge. So I don't know if you watch like any other simmers. I have like a laundry list if you want to hear me talk about all the different simmers that I watch. It's a good 20 that I watch like religiously every day. Like it's just some of my favorite things to do. I'd rather do this than like listen to true crime podcasts all day, which I still kind of do because I do work from home. So it's nice to have some stuff going on in the background. But with my legacy challenge, the horse ranch, James Turner has this series. So when each new pack comes out, he kind of goes through with his heir and he plays through that entire pack or expansion, that kit. So that legacy heir plays through the entirety of it. So I heard about James Turner through, I think, his paranormal series, and it was just phenomenal. And I love it because it's just casual gameplay, and you also have like a little bit of a challenge because you're trying to finish the pack. And that's what I kind of want to do with this horse ranch. So after we finish like nectar making and doing that aspiration and kind of figuring everything else that's over in Chestnut Ridge, then we can like take Gaia's heir, which would be like one of her kids if she decides to have kids or adopt. We'll take that heir and then we'll go to another pack in that world and kind of try to beat it. So I'm thinking I want to do Strangerville next just because I haven't actually played through that pack, like the defeating the mother plant and doing all that different stuff. I think that's going to be a ton of fun. And if I set it up pretty well, we can do Strangerville and then we can kind of mix in the paranormal pack as well, just in time for spooky season, because I am ready for spooky season. I am just so excited to film the Sims content for this fall season. I want to do like pumpkin patches and spooky series, and I want to create like spooky haunted builds and like maybe do a mini series where we're like playing something haunted and find some really good like CC and mods to like make it into a haunted house. I think that'll be a lot of fun. If you're obsessed, let me know and I will make sure I do it. But I'm probably going to end up doing it anyway since I know that my channel is kind of small. So a lot of people don't like comment, and feel free not to comment because I am also like a ghost watcher on a lot of these big simmers pages. I don't rarely comment on things. I just watch them like and then I kind of leave. But I think that'll be really fun to do this like fall season. It'll give us some exciting things to kind of try out and test. And we can of course do something like that as well for Christmas. We can do like a whole like, ooh, okay, I had this thought. Maybe we do like a cheesy Hallmark series. That would be a ton of fun. So yeah, those are the plans I have coming up. I do want to also kind of start streaming. I do currently have a Twitch channel, but it's kind of hard to stream over there if you don't already have an audience, because it's so like audience based and there's so much like competition out there. Not that it's like competition, but it's so many different people who have bigger audiences over there on Twitch. It's kind of hard to get your footing and be in that realm. So that's why I wanted to do videos on YouTube, because I've been doing like lifestyle vlogs and travel vlogs and stuff like that for like years. So I kind of understand like the whole back end of YouTube. So I kind of wanted to do just like streaming over on this platform. I haven't really done streaming on YouTube, but I feel like it's fairly more simpler than it probably would be over doing on Twitch. So I might do that, and then we can restart like an astrology challenge that we were currently playing when I first started this channel. Or we can actually do like the Let's Make Over the Townies speed builds through like an online stream. That would be a lot of fun, and I'll just have my camera off. We can just vibe and we can just kind of speed build and do a build. That actually might sound like a really good idea. So I'm going to put that in my noggin, and maybe we'll do that coming up. But I guess I should talk about the build a little bit. So we're currently in Eliza's room, and I want to keep it kind of similar. So if you know the original house of the Pancakes, they have a split. So they share common areas together, and then they have separate bedrooms and separate bathrooms. Now, for me personally, me and my husband, we share everything, but we do have a few friends that actually have separate bedrooms, and they might have separate bedrooms just because like someone has like difficult sleeping habits where they toss and turn, they sleepwalk, they have like sleep apnea, so they have a machine that's kind of loud. So we do have a few couple friends who are like that, so I kind of understand like the separate bedroom type of situation. It's just not something that we currently do. But what I was trying to get to is that Eliza and Bob have separate bedrooms and bathrooms. So I kind of want to keep the color scheme the same. Eliza likes a lot of pink and greens, so I never use this like wallpaper, and I thought that I would use it with some of this kind of muted green and pink and brown, and I think it turned out really cute. And as you probably saw downtown, as you saw downstairs, outside, and like the shared bathroom upstairs that I'll show you in a few, I kept those pretty neutral just because, like, since they are sharing a space, it's good to keep that space like neutral. And then we go into Bob's room, that's more like the blue base, because if you looked at his room in the original like build, it's very like split of blue and pink. So I want to keep some of that up. And then, of course, if they decide to have kids, because I do have neighborhood story progression on in my save because I just love the chaos of it. If they decide to have kids, of course, I can go back in and add like a bedroom. I can split up like one of their bedrooms, maybe make them share a bedroom, and then they can split that with like a kid. But in this build, I did give them some animals. So they have a dog and they also have a cat. So when we were downstairs and outside on their patio, I did give them some area where they can grill because Bob is a chef, and then somewhere for the dog to do the agility, and then also some planning things as well that they can kind of do together. But I was thinking in this save file, I know a lot of people kind of pit Bob and Eliza against each other. Apparently they have like a rocky relationship, but I just made it as if they're just trying to figure stuff out. Like they've probably been together since like high school. So they've kind of seen each other through like ups and downs, and maybe they're like in a little down moment right now, but they're trying to make it work. They're trying to make it figure it out and stuff because they love each other and they want to be together. But you know, when you're young and stuff, sometimes it's a little hard to kind of navigate that type of stuff. So I wanted to kind of play that into their style, and then also in some gameplay in case we ever play any of these townies. But I did add dog fest to their rooms, and I kind of combined all the packs. I didn't want it to be just like a base game build. I did want to like use the packs that I have because I just think it's more fun that way. I love base game builds, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them kind of look the same after a while unless you just heavily go into debug. And I like debug, but it's just a little too much for me, so I would rather just use the packs that I already have. But I did try some new things within this build, like the double sinks. Well, I made one of them a sink and then one of them for like clutter, because usually I just use like a regular standalone sink. But I wanted to do something a little bit different with this build and kind of play up some clutter with their personalities and things along that nature. And I imagine the Bob to be very, very clean because I feel like Eliza probably is on him for things to be clean and in order. That's kind of how I am in my household as well. I'm like, things have to be tidy, they have to be straight, everything needs to be clean. But luckily my husband is like that too. But if we did have like separate rooms like they do, I'm pretty sure it would be a hot mess and mine would be really, really tidy. As you can see for Bob, he has those clothes on the floor. But I want to add some little decor and things outside as well, since they're supposed to be in like New Orleans, so there will be a lot of like outdoor space and nice weather since they are by a pond where they can just sit outside and paint or do anything creative. So I add some of these benches outside, and those I believe are base game. And then those flowers that are on the windowsills, if you can see, those are actually from the Romantic Garden Stuff pack, which I don't use way too much of, but I kind of want to dabble into making like community lots, like parks. I know that's like crazy. That's not something that I typically like to watch myself, but I feel like I want to build up like our legacy challenge and the whole backstory of things. So I want to either download some community lots from the gallery and just rebuild them and revise them to fit my aesthetic. We just build them together. But we are nearing the end of this speed build. I'm just adding a few more details in the commons place area, like adding some food bowls, some dog things, and also just making sure that all the accessories and the clutter are functional. They can get around it because sometimes, you guys know, Sims act like they can't route anywhere. But this is what the exterior of the house looks like. I think it looks so much better than the original. It's a nice little facelift, and as well as the back, it's very like airy and open. They can still route around it, and they have a lot of things to do kind of together as well outdoors. And I'm adding some more clutter for the dogs and animals because I did give Eliza like a little knitting kit, so maybe she knits like dog toys and stuff along that nature. But in my opinion, this house looks extremely good, and I am so proud of myself. And I hope you enjoy just kind of talking and chatting with me in this speed build. If you did, make sure it's fun things like give it a big old like and subscribe down below if you haven't already, as well as follow my lifestyle channel. You can see a little bit behind the scenes on who I am as a person. I'll have that link down below. But until next time, I hope you're doing swell, and I'll see you soon.